Hey, welcome to Northern Soul. Got a new video here for you talking about kinesiology tape and how to get more out of your taping. So when you already have taping on your body, whatever you've done for taping, is there something else you can do to just add even more tools or more therapy to just the regular tape while it's doing its thing? Because typically you have tape on for a number of days, but there might be some questions which will answer, like what else can you do while the tape is on? Like if you forgot to put, if there's like a rub that you like and you put on before, can you put it on after or like during the taping to take it to the next level? So we're gonna discuss some of the ideas that I have and some things that I use and I've tested that you can actually use while tape is on you. So it just adds a next level of therapy for you, or pain relief, or whatever you want to call it. So first thing we're going to do is we have the tape on. So general rules of taping: apply it on a clean surface, and you want to wait at least an hour before you try any of this stuff, because in an hour time frame, that's when you get maximum adhesion. So any good quality tape will be able to do this no problem and not like fall off. So a lot of this stuff is, since it's water resistant, we try to aim towards things that are more water based. That way it doesn't alter or affect the adhesive in a negative way, so then it just kind of comes off and you'll have to re-tape. So those of you that are cost conscious about taping and you're thinking, well, tape's kind of expensive, so I want to get as many days use as possible, especially if you're like constantly taping a longer term injury or protecting yourself through events and stuff like that if you're an athlete. So I'm here to show some of the things you could do. Some of the obvious stuff, obviously, with tape is using cold or heat on the taping as well. I got some other videos on the channel as well that describe that, so go check those out, along as with the 101 taping for the basics on that. But typically you can use heat over top. You get all sweaty in that, but that doesn't matter because it's water resistant, so it'll resist the sweat. So you're talking 10 to 30 minutes heat if appropriate, or 5 to 10 minutes ice. You don't want to go beyond 10 minutes for ice, but it should be like no problem cold or hot on the taping. Going forward, a little bit more extravagant stuff, whether you're using wraps or whatnot. What I've noticed is that with the, if you look back, I've got this video on, I've got two videos actually on taping, tape testing review. You can go check those out. There's one tape in particular which caught my attention and may have caught your attention as well if you watched the video, called mobility tape. And one of the interesting parts about that tape, as opposed to any other tape that I know of on the market, is that it has menthol and camphor infused within the adhesive somehow. There is a typical price premium for that, and it's difficult to, it's not the easiest tape to acquire. So with Northern Soul channel, well, about practicality and stuff you can do at home and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you stuff to kind of like mimic that effect with the tape, so that you don't have to buy, you can use the tape you have. It's just a matter of finding the other stuff which you may or may not have or may not know about. So I'm just going to kind of clarify and bring that forward, so we have it for now. So I got some examples here of things you can use to give you an idea of what you can use and the different types. So we've got like liquid, we've got a gel, and then we've got a roll-on, and I'll discuss that stuff. These are typical things that you can use for icy hot or pain management, sort of topical, not so much creams. You can use certain creams. I made my own homemade cream with essential oils. I find essential oils are amazing, and they're natural, so the body identifies when it absorbs in the skin what it is. There's no like negative side effects unless you have allergies, which I don't. So just caution on that. If you're allergic to any of this stuff, don't use it. It should be straightforward, but I got to throw it out there because it's public video. At the end of the day, okay, so let's get into it. These are things I use and find pretty effective on its own, but now I'm going to use it in combination. So these are just example patches here. They're not really doing anything. I'm just going to show this for demonstration purposes, what you can do with it. So if I've had this on for at least an hour, I can do something like a cooling icy hot gel. So I've got a container full here of what we use as known as biofreeze. I'm going to put links if I can find the products there on Amazon or whatnot. Check out the links below, and I'll link all these products if I can find them, and any other stuff I use for your convenience down there as well. So you're just going to grab some of this gel here. It's kind of like a gel paste. It's got like alcohol in it, so it evaporates really quickly, but it's not really oil based, so that's why it can actually work with this stuff. So if you just, this has been on for an hour, and you just kind of blend it in there, and you can feel it, so it'll absorb in, because this is cotton, so it'll absorb right in. And then it's got, if you've seen the actual adhesive, you'll notice that there's actual cuts in it, like wave cuts, and that's to let the skin breathe. But you can also use that to your advantage, because this stuff here will actually penetrate through that, and then you can absorb it through the skin, and it won't affect the adhesive in this one. So this one does icy hot, but the cool part about this, no pun intended, seriously, is that it's got menthol in it, and I think camphor as well. Very popular within my clinic. Great distraction for pain, along with, if you're doing distraction with, I can already feel it actually getting icy right now. And this won't affect the adhesive negatively. So you could totally use something like this. So with the menthol effect, the cool thing about menthol itself, I didn't realize, I thought it was kind of like, oh, whatever, it smells nice, and it reminds people of that stuff when you got like sinus issues, like you're all clogged up, so this will like clean your sinuses out as well. So you could put like a strip of this under your nose and put some of that, saturate it, and then like maybe help you breathe at night as well. So just keep that as a afterthought. But so you can see how that's like right in there, absorbed in, and I can already feel it working. So as I was saying, I'm getting sidetracked here. Menthol itself has this effect that kind of affects the cold receptor of the nervous system. So interestingly enough, if you have a sunburn or something like that where you feel heat, if you use like a menthol product, just watch out if it'll affect a burn. Like obviously you don't want a severe burn or something, put that on, because it's already like a compromised skin. So you want it on good tissue, relatively good tissue, but it'll give the cooling effect, which will mitigate the heat. So you kind of cancel out. So you feel hot because the hot receptors or the heat receptors are activated, and you use the cool receptors, and then it kind of cancels itself out. Same thing with the heat, the pain. So you get pain receptors are active because of the injury or inflammation or whatever. You put this on, and then it activates the cold, or some people detect it as heat, depending on the person, and that kind of cancels out some of the pain, and that's why this works, and people like the distraction of it, and it's like a go-to. So it takes the taping to the next level because of that. Now, other interesting part as well, if you're offloading a muscle with taping, or you have like a sprain injury or something like that, and the muscle's really tight, and you're having an issue with it, the menthol itself can actually deactivate the muscle. So if it's always in a chronic state of tightness or spastic and that sort of thing, you find your muscles really tight, maybe a bit of tape to offload the muscle, or increase circulation, or both taping, and then add something like that with a menthol, which is a natural component. It's not like a synthetic thing, although it might be made in a lab, but it's identified as a natural component with in the body, so it's not like you won't really have any negative effects to it, but it'll also help to turn off the muscles to get it to relax as well. So that might be a benefit, additional benefit too. I like the smell of it as well. So that's one example, and you can see, so when I go like this, you can see it lifting the skin up and creating the surface area so that the healing response is increased. Will also help with the circulation increase, will also help distribution of the gel or whatever you got soaked in there. Another example here, like this is stuff you'll find in the clinical stuff. So biofreeze. We also have some muscle care that we use. Some people like this stuff better. Some people like biofreeze better. Try them all, see what you favor. Some people say that the biofreeze is more intense, so they like more of the distraction, especially if you got really tired, achy muscles. So postural, stress-related muscles, so you're talking shoulders, neck, upper back, lower back, stuff like that. Really annoying, dull, achy stuff. This stuff could be really helpful. This itself, just gonna mix it up here. So it's a liquid, you can hear it, not a gel, and that'll still work because it's still water-based. So as long as we're talking water-based stuff, this one's a roll-on, so you don't have to like use a pump and then like put it on and get crap all over your hands. So this is like a no touch, no mess thing. Some people prefer this sort of thing, and it's I think it's a little bit quicker to work. So for acute injuries or pain and that sort of thing, this is maybe the way to go. Although I think you get a little bit less because you're paying for the roll-on, but whatever. So you can just take your roll-on and then just dab in there and just put in like that, like you would your normal skin. Just like that, and that'll soak in, and then I'll get really icy. Actually, I was playing video games the other day, and my wrists were starting. I swear it was video games and not something else, and they're a bit sore, so this will actually probably help out. Oh no, I'm ODing on menthol. Same idea. This is like really natural stuff. So there he is, camphor 4%, menthol 10%, and it's claiming it as an analgesic, both of them, for pain relief. So I'm not claiming anything else, but I know I just gave you that information on the menthol. So it does a little bit more than just pain relief. External use only. So they're classifying this as a gel. This is a gel too. So that's like soaked right in, and it'll continue to cling. So as it dries up, absorbs, and evaporates the excess, it'll continue to stick on there. Pretty cool. Next thing, I don't usually go on the edges, so I just do kind of like the middle and stay away from the edges, just in case. That way, if it starts to lift or something like that, I still have the edging around it to kind of allow it to settle in if it is starting to lift a little bit, depending on the tape, of course. This tape here wasn't on for an hour, but no, like I said, this is just a demo. I also have some of these Chinese remedy natural concoctions. This one's Quan Long. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Medicated oil. There's also some other stuff I've used. It was given to me by another Asian woman. She's like, "Oh, try this stuff." I think it's Hung Fa oil, something like that. There's like, it's like a long thing. I'll put it down in the description where you can get it. And it was pretty good as well. Smells fantastic. That one's more like heat because I think it had cinnamon. This one doesn't. This one's more like icy. Fantastic for nighttime too if you have like sinus issues. I'll put like a couple drops of this. It's just straight up liquid under my nose, and then it just totally clears my sinuses like no problem. So this one here in this example is menthol, methyl select, I don't know how to say that, camphor, eucalyptus oil, spike lavender oil, and some light paraffin in order to obviously be the carrier for it. So it's not, a lot of the essential oils you can't use straight up. You have to dilute it, or else it'll cause like negative reactions, either burning the skin or causing irritation and that. So you want to kind of dilute it in some, not all of them. Some of them you can use neat, like for example, lavender you can use neat, tea tree oil you can use neat, neat meaning that you don't have to dilute it. So this is another example here. So it's just got an open sort of, I was going to say something. Anyways, got an open thing there. You can just put some drops in. So it recommends a couple drops, basically. So apply to affected areas, needed 3 to 4 times daily, and you just do a couple drops. It's just a straight up essential oil, so it's nothing crazy. And I just put a couple drops in like that. Just dab it in there, and that's it. And you let that soak in. And wow, I can already, that didn't take long. I can already feel the icy cold happening there. So now my whole arm is like pretty much icy cold. But that's how that works. If you want to, if you're really into making your own sort of concoctions and stuff like that, with essential oils, I'm going to be doing some videos. I have this idea to do videos on individual essential oils, and then discuss on how you can use them and where they're useful for and stuff like that. So you can start, there's going to be a collection on my of videos specifically for essential oils. So look into that, do the research so you don't have to, if you're into that sort of thing. And if you're already into that and you have a sort of recipe that you like for muscle and stuff like that, if you want to use it on this thing but you can't use a carrier oil, one thing you can use is, I'm going to take off this tape actually because I don't really need it. One thing you can use is like a floral water, or what they call a hydrosol, and you can use that. You can see there's the backing there, so I just took that off, and you can see it soaks right through. So right there, soaked right, that one's dried up a bit, but it went through. You can see that the wave pattern, if you can see through the light, that's where it kind of gets through. Just like that. So you soak in, that's the roll-on right there. So you can see how easily it goes through, and I can feel it. So if you take it off, so that might be something useful if you can't bring like a heat pad and stuff into work. Just be mindful if you're using any of the sort of essentials like icy hot sort of thing. Don't do it during anything where you're going to be like really sweaty or hot or in the cold, because it really accentuates that, and you can find yourself in a lot of discomfort because of that. So if you're going for a workout or you're doing some sort of athletic activity, wait till after and wait till you cool off a little bit before you do that, before you use this stuff. So try not to use it during activity, try to use it during rest, and there is a time frame where it only lasts so long and then it dissipates, and then you can reapply, hence why 3 to 4 times a day in this example. And let's see what this one says. Apply liberal around gel directly to affected area, not more than 3 to 4 times a day. So there's kind of a theme there, 3 to 4 times a day. But just don't do it during your workout, do it during rest. That way you get the full effect, but you don't get an uncomfortable effect, which can happen. And don't double heat or double ice. So once you have this on, it's this stuff or like hot and cold external. So actual heat and actual cold. Don't do both at the same time, one or the other. That'll keep you safe as well. Like I was saying with the essential oils, there's going to be hydrosols and floral waters. You can use that as the carrier because it's water based, and you put a few drops, like, so you get a small spray bottle from like or mist or aerosol, whatever thing, from like a dollar store, whatever, and fill that up with, or even like witch hazel or aloe vera juice as well. You can use that, and then put a few drops of whatever your recipe is, if you want to mimic your like, so that you know what's going in there. But these people are pretty, I mean, it's pretty reasonable stuff. There's not like a lot of different weird ingredients. Good till 2021. Lasts a long time too. So this goes a long way, obviously. These might be your new friends along with the taping. So hopefully you found that helpful. Give me a like if you like it, because it tells me what people are into, and I'll make more videos like that. Subscribe if you haven't. If you there's always going to be new videos coming out. Trying to do 1 to 3 videos a week, at least one, hopefully on health related issues, to give you tips, practical tips. And look at the description below in order to support the channel with, we've got some merchandise on their t-shirts you can get, as well as products that I'll link through Amazon. That helps the channel out as well. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Peace.